Hey friends, Mindy here. I have an unboxing for you today. This is my subscription kit from A House of Books. I have the large subscription. You can see it comes in this cloth bag that you can reuse and make journals out of, or you just use the fabric. There's always a card in the front that tells you kind of what to expect out of this kit that has some information for some specialty things. One of the items this month was this vintage fabric. This is in the large subscription kits. And there's always a little pack of fabric in here, the little fabric scraps. So I'm just going to go through this really quickly. So the House of Books subscription, you can get, there's 3 different sizes, small, medium, large. And you can also kind of choose the length of time that you want to commit to this subscription. So there is a lot of variety in there if you are interested in getting some vintage ephemera pieces. They're starting to do some reproductions that you get if you have the large kit. I think you get those digital items for free, but you can also get some digital images on the website as well. So here's just a little library card that they have included this month. And then this little packet has some stamps in it, but it also has some vintage jewelry in here as well. I love all the different stamps. There's this one little pendant that's like a little cross, and then this looks like maybe it was an earring. That would be really good, like over the top of a journaling page or whatever. You can use those in your journal. So I'm just going to kind of flip through here. Some of the dates aren't super old on these. Some of them are, just kind of varies, but stamps are just a fun way to kind of add interest in layering items when you're doing clusters and stuff in your junk journals or vintage papers. So I'm just going to kind of collect all of these here together. There's a lot of stamps this month. That's one of the things that was listed on the front on that little card, was that there's quite a lot of stamps and like correspondence type things this time. So this first little packet that I'm opening up just has the smaller book texts in here. So there's kind of these big chunks of books this time. So there's like 4 or 5 different kinds of books, but there's pretty significant chunk of each one of those books. And so you get a variety of like fonts and patinas and stuff when they do it this way. And then this book has some like illustrations and stuff in it. So whenever the major difference between like the medium and the large size subscription is that you, in the large one, you get some papers that are just generally bigger in that bigger kit. So these are some of the little miscellaneous things that were in my particular kit. Another feature of them is that there's something kind of specific that you're looking for, you can let Amber and her team know, and they will try to include that. So Amber knows that I'm a Bible journaler, and so she is pretty good about trying to include things that are, you know, like hymnals and that kind of thing. This book is actually kind of funny. I didn't really spend a whole lot of time on that because it's while it has some reference to the Bible and stuff, it's actually like a new thought kind of book. So that was kind of strange. But one of the things that I had mentioned specifically is I'm looking for some botanical items and some ledger. And so you can see I had some of those in there. And then I have these little cards. I have some little poetry pages here. And then I have, you can see just the variety of sizes. And this is actually part of a Bible, like what would be like a coffee table Bible, I guess. But it's really interesting because this is the starting of Isaiah, and you can see where whoever owned this book has gone in there and underlined certain passages. I thought that was really cool. I always hate to see a Bible torn up, but I thought that was really neat that you could see where they had underlined certain passages. And so here's some other items. These are like, this is just a large paper doily. There was a piece of white cardstock in there as well. Not sure why. And then I'm going to save those little envelopes off to the side here for just a minute. And then I, again, have some botanical things. And then these are kind of those bigger prints. So these are just kind of different paintings, images of paintings, different things you can kind of see. I love the trains. I think I've mentioned this in the past. My dad worked for the railroad. He retired from the railroad. And so I always love it when I get little train things in my subscription kit. And this one is like just some cool bottles, like medicinal bottles. I think it's meant to be art, but it's just kind of cool. And I really like these little bottles as well. Then there's just some furniture and then some animal pages here. There's just about some birds. And then again, a lot of botanical images. So that's something I had specifically asked for the last couple of months because I am doing some journals. I had some specific projects in mind for those. And I'm just going to kind of go through here. Charlie Chaplin photo, which was kind of neat. And then there's some architecture. I really love the images on here too. Sorry, I have them upside down, I think, some of them. And then there are some pages from some kind of art book. And then these are like a reprint of newspapers and just some other kind of books. These are, again, those bigger pages. This one is neat because it's kind of how to paint different botanical things. And so that was a lot of fun. And then just a couple black and white, like etching type things here as well. And then this envelope is full of just so many fun things. So there are a lot of envelopes in this. Now, none of the envelopes that I had any kind of letters in them, but that there are some really fun stamps. Some of these aren't super old. Some of them are. This is kind of like the front page of an envelope, but I really like just the stamps that you have and kind of seeing where they were. This was obviously someone who was in the military at the time. So again, there's not a letter, but the envelope is pretty cool. This one is like from 1930 and it was like, a vellum. It was really cool. Obviously the whole envelope is not there, but, just the paper was really cool. And just some more envelopes. Again, there's a couple little photos in here as well. But it's just kind of fun to see the postage stamps and the dates on there. And then a few of these had multiple stamps on them, which was fun. Again, some of these are not, super old, but so they just kind of vary. But I really loved these postcards because most of these had handwriting and letters and stuff. There was actually one that was in a foreign language I couldn't read. So that one's really cool. So I can't really tell all of the dates on there because the stamp just didn't show up, but there's also that little photograph with a note on it. This one is like from 1946, which is pretty cool. Some stamps here, and then a little bookmark, and then this little, this is a note. This is, I think, the one that I couldn't really read. I'm not sure even what language. It was just really hard to kind of decipher, but the postage stamps are really neat on there. And then, and of course the patina of the postcard was just awesome. And there was also this little envelope here with all of these different stamps in it. And there's so many in there. I'm not pulling them all out because I don't want them to scatter and lose any of them. But, so this was just that really fun envelope that's just kind of got all of those miscellaneous pieces. This one has some clippings from a book as well. There's not a whole lot in here this time. Just a few, and then a few pages of something that's just like some nautical boat information. This was, there really wasn't a whole lot in that particular envelope this time. And then getting into some of the bigger pages here. So there's going to be a kind of a variety. This is just a page of like an index or a table of some sort. I like it just for the background of it, but there's just like some charts here, and then just some informational books. I'm not actually sure what this book was, but the paper was so cool. There's just a couple pages of it, but the texture of that paper was just amazing. And so I'm just going to kind of go through here and kind of show. There's some like pages. I think these were about like stamp collecting, and then just some historical things. These are advertisements. I think that was from the Sears and Roebuck catalog, which is fun. And then just some wildlife here, and some birds, and then these kind of like atlas pages and like map pages, and then some more advertisements, some more like textbook type things, and then again that paper with the charts and indexes on it. And then I'm going to move on to the other larger envelope that is in here. It has some other types of book paper in here. So you can kind of see you get a good variety in here always of different kind of patinas, different styles of books, different fonts, different a lot of just different things, and everybody's are going to be, you know, just a little bit different. That's what's so fun about these. And then again, like I said, you can always feel free to reach out to Amber and her team, and if you're looking for something specific, they can always include that in there as well. So this is like some dictionary page back here, but from like one of those really, really big dictionaries. And then this is actually probably from like an atlas or map. So I'm just going to fold that in half so I can put it in my file. And that pretty much is everything that came in my subscription kit for October. If you like this video, I would appreciate it if you gave it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And until next time, bye.